Hey Pokemon Masters, Zoe here, and today I have a quick Pokemon theory. Hey, a Pokemon theory, I feel like I haven't done one of these in forever, and this one is not one of my own. This one was actually suggested to me back when I went out to Amsterdam to meet some of you. This by the wonderful viewer Chris King, and he suggested this theory and I thought it just made so much sense. And that is the story of how Diancie came from a Carbink. See, it's already pretty widely accepted that the mythical Pokemon Diancie is a mutated Carbink. In fact, it says it in the Pokedex entries. We know this already, and there's so few times when we actually get a solid, clear explanation as to where some of the mythical Pokemon have come from. Mew, Manaphy, Fione, Darkrai, Celebi, Victini, we don't know where these Pokemon come from originally, but this one we do. It's definitely a Carbink. And that makes sense, because Carbink has crystallized bits of carbon, I suppose. And Diancie is made of diamonds, and the way that a diamond becomes a diamond from carbon is just under intense heat and pressure. Except that doesn't actually make a lot of sense for Carbink, because it doesn't live underground under intense heat and pressure in the same way that Steelix would evolve from Onyx and have a full body made of diamond. My original Pokemon theory, everyone! That's how the Crystal Onyx is made of diamond. Anyway, they don't go deep underground, they actually float above it. So if that's the case, how could a Carbink become a Diancie? And how many more are there? Well, potentially there is only one Diancie in the world of Pokemon. Maybe, maybe not. I know the movie, I believe, suggests otherwise, although I haven't watched that movie more than once because, Diancie's voice. But have you noticed how the other mythical Pokemon of Kalos are all heavily tied to the region? Volcanion is a Pokemon that destroyed mountains in southern Kalos, allowing people to live there. Hoopa is responsible for Parfum Palace. Responsible as in it stole it from another dimension, maybe even the human world, and that was also a theory that I did with MNJ TV Pokevids years ago. Wow, referencing all the old theories today. But Diancie doesn't seem to have any real ties to Kalos. However, it was suggested to me by Chris King that perhaps the way that Carbink became Diancie is it was hit when the beam that came off from the ultimate weapon, when that weapon fired and that energy beam went up into the sky and came back down, it hit a Carbink on the way. And rather than killing the Carbink, it mutated it into a Diancie. Intense heat and pressure. Everything you need to take Carbink from a Diancie. And at first I thought, well, that's just a bit speculative, I guess. But not only does it tie it to the region more and the lore of the region, it also makes sense because Diancie has a Mega Evolution. And it's known that the infinity energy that came out from that weapon, that created many of the Mega Stones. If not all of them, likely as a result of all the Pokemon that died fighting. Now, it's unlikely that anyone was sending a Carbink into battle. Steelix, Rhyperior, Carbink. I mean, maybe they were, but then again, wouldn't that just mean that Carbink has a Mega Evolution? No, it's Diancie that gets the Mega Evolution. And we know that there are some Pokemon that can have Mega Evolutions even though they definitely weren't involved in the battle from 3,000 years ago where the infinite weapon was fired. Like, for example, Mewtwo, another legendary Pokemon that has Mega Stones. Those were created artificially, most likely by Team Rocket as seen in Pokemon Origins. So the fact that Diancie has a Mega Evolution and not Carbink suggests that it was somehow related to the infinity weapon, to the ultimate weapon, but in a slightly different way. And given that it is a beam of like super energy, intense heat and pressure is kind of applied if that beam goes up into the sky and comes back and lands on Carbink's head, mutating it into an all-new Pokemon, Diancie. Also, and this is kind of a side note to the theory, the one place that you can find Carbink in the Kalos region is Reflection Cave, an area that in the anime it houses a whole other dimension. The Mirror Dimension seems to be some kind of portal in Reflection Cave that leads to that world. Potentially this rift in time and space in the universe was caused as a result of the energy from the ultimate weapon landing here. Maybe, maybe not, it's kind of speculative, but one thing is for sure. Reflection Cave, where you find Carbink, is right next to Geosenge Town, where the ultimate weapon resides. Just a short little Pokemon theory for you, but I thought it made so much sense, so I decided to share it with you. Of course, you're gonna have to let me know what you think about this theory in the comments, and as always, soar high Pokemon Masters. Thank you so much to those of you who are supporting me on Patreon. Because of you, we are now up to double uploads every single week. And of course, you can check the links in the description to come hang out in the Toby Discord.